Wyrd Sisters by Terry Pratchett. Hi everyone, I'm June and welcome again to my channel. I just finished Wyrd Sisters, so let's talk about it. Wyrd Sisters is the sixth book in the Discworld series and the second in the Witches series. It was published in 1988. The book follows the story of the King of Lancre, King Verence, who had a terrible accident. He was killed by the Duke Felmet. It was an accident because it is a normal and natural way to die, at least among kings. And even though Verence was not a good king, Felmet, together with his wife, is a bit worse, which is something that his kingdom doesn't like at all. And Verence, instead of going with the death, stays as a ghost who wants revenge. All this happens while the son of Verence, a little baby, ends up in the hands of Granny Weatherwax, who is our lovely and grumpy witch we met in the book Equal Rites. Granny, together with other two witches, Nanny Ogg, an old and unusual witch, and by unusual I mean to say a witch who had been married a couple of times and with a long quantity of children and grandchildren, and Margaret Garlick, who is the lovely and young witch, who is just learning from the other two. The three of them have to find a plan to take care of the little baby so he can become the real king someday. Of course, there is more plot, more characters, and more things to discover. After 6 books in the Discworld series, I feel I'm getting used to the style and humor of Discworld, but even though I know what to expect, I always get surprised and impressed by the stories. The Witches series feels so different from Rincewind series. Rincewind is silly, coward, and everything seems to be a mess and nonsense. But the Witches series feels so mature, serious, and beautifully written. It is like every book is becoming better and better. To make you understand, Rincewind is the type of guy you would love to have as a friend, while Granny Weatherwax is the type of person you would love to have as a teacher. It feels like she's the typical grandma, but with a lot of personality, a person you don't want to mess up with. It is said that the Wyrd Sisters get some of the references from Macbeth and Hamlet by William Shakespeare. I haven't read Macbeth and I don't remember Hamlet, but theater is part of this book. And by the end of the book, I felt like I was reading a play. And in general, every time I read a book from the Witches, it has that nice background feeling where I think I'm reading a poem in some way. I was thinking if this book can become one of the best books that I have read from the series. But even though it has a great story and interesting plot, and a surprising ending, I didn't feel it was that epic like Sourcery, which doesn't mean that Wyrd Sisters doesn't have that aspect in these words. The thing is that when I finished reading Sourcery, I felt amazed, wanted to know what will happen next. But when I finished Wyrd Sisters, I felt kind of sad. I don't know why. But I do consider this book to be one of the best until now. Well, maybe it is not so much to say considering that I still have 35 books to read. But Wyrd Sisters for sure is in my top readings. Well friends, I continue in this challenge to read all the books in the Discworld series, but at the same time I'm thinking if I have enough time to other fantasy books aside from Discworld. Well, I will see. Okay, as always, stay safe and be happy. See you in the next play. Bye bye.